Good is good, yo. It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and talking about the best player at each specific price right now in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. I do want to say, anywhere from like 10 to 100,000, in which we'll go over like a lot of those in between, 50,000, 75,000. There's going to be multiple players because there's just a lot of different options right now in MyTEAM, and I want you guys to be aware of each and every one of them. Now, before I dive into it, guys, any further, if you are new to the channel, man, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're closing in on 100,000 subscribers, man, and that's been a big goal of mine for a very, very, very long time. We're starting off for 1,000 MT, right? And it might not ever change until the end of time, and that's Denny of Dion, man. The cheapest solid option for this cheap in MyTEAM. I mean, literally 11. I'm gonna snipe this one and resell it just for the sake of the video. Yes, I'm not gonna make too much MT, but I'm gonna make 100 MT by just sniping it. I'm telling you, there's different ways to make MT, and sometimes you just gotta be willing to take that little bit of MT when it's offered to you. But here's what I'm seeing with Danny, okay, guys? He's 6'9", so that he can compete against the best point guards in MyTEAM. Now, the big thing for him is offensively, he is pretty limited. He has a decent release, but can't handle the ball too well. Defensively, though, because of his height, he is very solid. Moving on to 3,000 MT, and there are some different options here for me. The main one I see is Jim Jones, and you guys might want to argue, Boris Diaw, some other people. I think Jim Jones gives you maybe the most for 3,000 MT, though. You guys might wonder why. 6'11" at the power forward. 3-ball is not great, but he can handle the ball. Defensively is really solid and stout. 55 total badges, a lot of the defensive badges that you want, as well as 35 gold badges. Now, obviously, playmaking, shooting-wise might not be the best, but defensively, in lane, stuff like that, he is going to be absolutely incredible. 5,000 MT up next, and for that, we're talking about Aleksej Pokusevski. This should be one of your guys' first purchases in MyTEAM, should be Pokusevski. Now, he is a little bit more than 5,000, but he still falls in the category. Right now, guys, he's so cheap because you can get him from playing different game modes. I think he's on boards, or at least in clutch time. Some other stuff just because he is, available this weekend. And you guys, I don't know if he's on boards in triple threat online, triple threat offline. I think he is on the clutch time wheel, though. I don't know for sure. That's what I'm thinking, though. But he is really cheap. And even if he's not on boards, guys, I mean, 5,000 MT, you're not going to find a better option. He's long in lanes. 7 feet tall. He's long. Player model, not that wide, but he has Scottie Pippen release, which is easy to green. Decent speed, going to be solid defensively. Badge-wise, nearly perfect. And for 5,000 MT, all I can say is good luck finding much better. 10,000 MT. This is where we're going to start seeing a lot of different players, okay? MyTEAM Anniversary Yao for 10,000 MT. All I can say is an absolute steal. If you need a center for cheap, pick up Yao Ming. There's nobody else for 10,000 MT, heck, even for 20,000 MT outside of other Yaos that are going to be even remotely close to what this Yao gives you. 7'6", good 3-ball, decent enough speed, can hold it down at all levels. You got to pick up that Yao. If you're looking for a point guard, the guy I recommend is Johnny Davis. Dark Matter Johnny Davis. I've used this card quite a bit. Super complete and fun card to use in MyTEAM, and I've personally had a lot of success with Johnny Davis. The other card I want to talk about is out of position Giannis Antetokounmpo. You guys may be like, what? This card is 10,000 MT? Yes, guys, this card is 10,000 MT. So if you do need a shooting guard or small forward, I would look no further than Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo. For 20,000 MT, guys, we have a few different options. The first option is Jonathan Isaac. Now, I do prefer Giannis to Jonathan Isaac straight up, but Jonathan Isaac is a little bit more, so it is what it is. You might have to just spend that little bit more MT going with Jonathan Isaac. Small forward position, going to play lanes extremely well, has a good 3-ball, defensively is absolutely elite, and for 20,000 MT is a really solid option. Another version of Yao Ming must be talked about, and again, I'm not going to talk about that many Yaos. I'm not going to talk about every Yao in MyTEAM, but for 20,000 MT, you're looking at another Yao Ming. Now, again, It's all just what Yao do you want, okay? The Yaos for 20,000 that you can go with is the Colossal Yao, which I got the Signature Series Yao, which is fine, or the Signature Series Signed Yao as well, which is fine. They're just a step above the MyTEAM Anniversary Yao, and no matter what Yao you go with, I mean, you're going to have some success. The one I recommend is the Colossal Yao. I think he is the most complete, especially on that defensive end of the court. We got to start talking about LaMelo Ball here, too, for 20,000 MT. And no, guys, I'm not talking about the Signature Series LaMelo because I'm not the highest on the Signature Series LaMelo. I'm talking out of position LaMelo if you want to, or the MyTEAM Anniversary LaMelo, which I think you guys should definitely pick up for a budget point guard. 35 Hall of Famers can play extremely well. But if you want to run out of position LaMelo, you guys can do that as well. Last guy I'm talking about for the 20,000 price point at that small forward position is Keegan Murray. I know I talked about Jonathan Isaac first, but I do prefer Keegan Murray at that small forward position, 6'9", just a complete all-around small forward in my team. Heading into the 30,000 MT mark, headlined by Mark Williams, guy you might not think about too much. Heck, he fits, I guess, the 20,000 MT. So I guess another player at the 20,000 MT mark is Mark Williams. If you want to go with him, 7'2", extremely long player model. When I first compiled this list, he was 30,000. I guess, 20,000 MT, you can get Mark Williams. Another version of Giannis for 30,000 MT is the Hero Giannis Antetokounmpo. I feel like the Hero Giannis is kind of slept on at this point in my team. I mean, people don't necessarily talk about the Hero Giannis anymore, but he is still really solid, especially at that small forward position, right? If you want to play Giannis at the small forward position, I do feel like this Giannis is where you need to lean for 30,000 MT. Denver Nuggets Carmelo Anthony, a card I just picked up on my No Money Spent Squad series today, is, I believe, one of the most slept on players in the entire game. Bracket busters, Carmelo Anthony. 30,000 MT, 99 3-ball, 98 ball, and a great defensively. It says his interior, yeah, and a 95, and trust me, if you watch my No Money Spent Squad series, that's exactly what he is, man. Plays great defense for 30,000 MT. Good luck finding better than Carmelo Anthony. And another LaMelo Ball card here for 30,000 MT that we've got to talk about is the Gamma LaMelo Ball. Again, 30,000 MT is what you're going to have to spend on him, but 45 Hall of Famers, good release, decent movement, 6'8", going to play lanes, just really solid for that price point. Another LaMelo to start off the 40,000 MT mark, and we're going to talk about the Cryogenesis LaMelo. This is the LaMelo I currently have. I spent that little extra to get those 5 extra Hall of Famers. And for 40,000 MT, he is a top point guard in the game. Defensively, nearly perfect. Obviously, offensively, going to be really solid. Moves well. Release, obviously, really solid. I'm a big fan of what that LaMelo Ball can provide to you guys. Then we got to talk about another version of Carmelo Anthony. And I know, look, guys, you guys might not like me talking about all these cards, but they need to be talked about, right? And I know a lot of them are the same cards, but that's what the end game kind of time provides to us. And no, we're not talking about that Carmelo. We're talking about the Dark Matter Carmelo. 40,000 MT, just they're going to be a little bit better than the last Carmelo, the Bracket Busters. Carmelo can do it all for you on the court. 55 Hall of Fame badges for 40,000 MT right now in my team. And the last card, we're taking a little bit of a turn here with Hakeem Olajuwon. Not the 75th anniversary. We're talking about the Hero Hakeem. 40,000 MT. Does have that Gallinari base. Good 3-ball, great player model. Just a very solid overall card for 40,000 MT. 50,000 MT. Up next, and we're going to start it off with out of position. Point guard Shaquille O'Neal for 50,000 MT. He's one of those players, it has to fit your play style, but for 50,000 MT, he's definitely up there with being one of the best point guards in my team. Now, when I made the video, again, it was 50,000. Right now, it looks like 55,000 is the cheapest. But again, 7'1" at the point guard position, good ball handler, obviously going to be great defensively, can hold it down. The other guy for 50,000 MT that I have slated in here is Paolo Banchero here. you guys can see, again, 50,000 MT. I feel like the best thing about Banchero is his player build. It might not show because he's only 6'10 stat-wise, but trust me, you pick up this card, his player model is absolutely ridiculous. Next, 75,000 MT, and we have to start it off here with a Giannis Antetokounmpo card that is extremely good. Now, he's just over 50,000 MT right now in my team, okay? And so I have to throw him in that 75,000 MT kind of boat, but I'm telling you guys, he's basically invincible Giannis at that small forward position. And you guys can be like, well, Ty, he doesn't have jump shot 3 or set shot 25. Giannis's base is already really good. He doesn't really need that better release. I mean, his player model is still going to be great. Defensively going to be able to hold it down incredibly. That's why I'm still really high on Giannis. Another card for 75,000 that I'm really high on is Dyson Daniels Dark Matter. A card with the XM base, one of the few cards with the XM base. We got 6'8", better on current gen than next gen in my opinion. I love his movement. Obviously, defensively is really solid. And just as an overall point guard in my team for 75,000 is a very solid option. Last but certainly not least, we got to talk about Bobo. 75,000 MT for a base Bobo is not a bad price. And when you look at the card, he's 7'2", gonna play lanes pretty solid defender, gets crazy animations. He has to be talked about. Next up, 100,000 MT. We got to talk about the point guard Giannis here. If you want to be a cheese ball play Giannis at point guard, you definitely can. Again, you're gonna want to run him with a good ball handler at that shooting guard position, but one of the best point guard defenders in the entire game. Gonna play lanes extremely well. That's where Swish Giannis does belong. A guy that surprises me for his price, that he's under 100K right now, is Chet Holmgren. Okay, he's right at 100K. The last time I looked, there were a couple up for buys, and there still is. 100,000 MT, 7 feet tall. He reminds me of a Bobo with a way quicker release. Movement wise, I will say, I mean, he moves okay, but players that are this tall don't move that well. But it really starts and ends with Chet Holmgren's release. 200,000 MT. And it is crazy to me that for 200,000 MT, I'm still talking about out of position Michael Jordan. But you gotta talk about him. I mean, if you can get an out of position MJ for 140,000 MT that has some extra Hall of Famers, you gotta talk about picking him up. Defensively, nearly perfect. Still gonna have the MJ base. Dribble 6, absolutely immaculate. You gotta talk about out of position MJ. Taco Fall also falls into this 200K category, which is crazy because I still think he's a top 2 or so center in my team. If you can find one with, let's say, 48 Hall of Famers, he is tough to beat. You get the 3-ball boost, absolutely immaculate. Speed boost, lateral quickness boost. You're looking at a top 3 or so center in my team, with the only guy being better than him being Yao Ming. Also, guys, Luka Doncic, right? If you are on next gen and you can find a way to get yourself a Luka Doncic that's not the Invincible Signature Series or Signed Signature Series, you gotta look into it, man. I mean, I know he came out before 250K, but on next gen, he's still one of the cheesiest cards still to this day. So definitely gotta look into Luka Doncic at that 200,000 mark. Next up, 500,000 mark, and we got to talk about Invincible Luka Doncic. Now, obviously, right now, he's going for over 500,000 MT, but I feel like if you wait long enough, you can be able, or you will be able to find one for that 500,000 MT mark in Invincible Luka. We also have to talk about Invincible Yao Ming in this category too. The main difference between Endgame Yao and Invincible Yao is, first of all, the set shot 25, which it is a big deal, but Yao's set shot 8 is still a good enough release. So I think the best centers go Endgame Yao, Invincible Yao, and then Taco in that order. And so Yao for 500K is not a bad price. Now we get into, if you have unlimited MT, Yao Ming's where I go. I mean, if you have all the MT in the world, I'm going with Yao Ming as the best card to spend your MT on, just because I feel like he's never going to get replaced, you know? Obviously, you can maybe make the argument point guard Giannis. My second argument would be small forward endgame Giannis as the most worth it max card in my team. But we went from 1,000 MT to 500,000 MT, and then the max you would spend. I want to know who I left off this list. Who was I maybe too high on, too low on? Let me know that down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.